Today's battle report: 1,800 points. Lizardmen versus slaves. Warp fire thrower. This is clan rats, and you got a gray seer right there. These are poison wind globadiers. Warlock engineer. These are this is a unit, a horde of storm vermin. Another unit of slaves, and I think he has three warlock engineers. Only one of them's a wizard. Sinister statue represented by those two guys. River. This is actually going to be a building and a bridge. Got a building over here. Over there on the hill, we've got a unit of Saurus warriors. Here's another unit of 30. This is a Troglodon, still working on the model. Salamander hunting pack. Over here, another salamander hunting pack. I got a BSB in this unit. I got a cowboy, mage priest over there behind the hill. They were battle for the pass. I won the roll-off, so I go first. Chameleon skinks there, scouting, and some back here scouting, and this right here is a swamp. Okay, movement phase. Move my Saurus warriors up towards the bridge. Move my Troglodon up there. Also, the cowboy moved pretty much everything up. Moved the salamander hunting crew up. Salamander hunting crew up over there. Still haven't rolled for the sinister statues. Have yet to do that. I came up and railroaded his H-bomb with the skinks. Move the other skinks up into the swamp. Okay, so magic phase. I dropped a large round template on some rats here. Using Tempest, I took out like 3 or 4 of the Stormburn. Took out one clan rat. They made all their lookout sirs, but I did take out a good chunk of the poison wind globadiers, 4 of them to be exact. And I used Walk Between Worlds on my salamander hunting crew, which nicely moves them up into perfect range. Okay, shooting. I flamed over into this unit, killed 4 guys, I think. Killed a couple of guys out of the globadiers. My skinks didn't do anything. All their poisons failed. And I flamed this guy over here with my flamer there, and nothing, of course. Okay, Skaven movement 1. So he rolls across the bridge right there. I lose 2 of my skink handlers to the sinister statues. Skaven pretty much move up. Slaves charge my salamander, and he just takes it. He moves one of his warlock engineers out of that unit. I railroaded his H-bomb, so he ran into the slaves and killed a couple of them. Magic phase. Duck withered my guy right there. Hey, Skaven shooting. Over here, he tried to drop some kind of template weapon and misfired and killed himself. Or no, he survived, didn't he?
I survived with this guy, but the other guy died.
Okay, the other guy died. And this guy dropped a initiative, some kind of brass orb on these guys, but they passed their initiative test, so nothing happened. Doom rocket fires off, smacks right into that unit, kills half of them. This guy shoots at the skinks and kills one of them, the flamer. Doom wheel shoots and takes out my salamander. Skaven close combat. He didn't get off any hits, but I didn't get off any hits, and he had me in one leadership, overran him, killed him. Runs right into, this is a Troglodon. Use your imagination. Lizardman turn 2. I charged with the cowboy up into that combat. I moved these guys towards this unit that's coming across the river. Railroaded the other side of the H-bomb. And moved my skinks up to try to take that unit out. Okay, Lizardman magic. I cast Walk Between Worlds and moved this unit up. Shooting. Pretty much all that happened is chameleons took out the flamer. So it's Lizardman end of turn 2. They won this battle against the slaves with the Troglodon and the cowboy. Okay, Skaven turn 2 movement. He decides not to charge me across that river because he won't have steadfast. His H-bomb is railroaded into his unit here. Only lose one guy. This guy reforms, and this guy moves over. Doomwheel moves up. Tempted, dreaded 13th. What else am I supposed to say?
That's it.
That's it. It didn't go. Doomwheel misfires during does 2 wounds to himself, and now can only move with 2d6 instead of 3d6. Skaven turn 2. They lose. Okay, turn 3, Lizardman movement. these guys decided to move up into the river, but they are not, and reform into a horde formation, but they are not in close combat. These guys amazingly rolled an 11 on their
Tell
charge
the nice people why they're not in close
and
combat,
charged
though.
into those slaves. These guys railroad over here. These skinks come over to take out his warlock engineer. Oh, also the Slan moved up out of cover to try to avoid the doom wheel over there. That is Lizardmen magic phase, turn 3. My Slan Mage Priest cast on this unit right here, Walk Between Worlds. Unfortunately, that's not enough to move them over. By the way, I rolled double 1s on the magic phase, so not a very big magic phase. But I managed to get it off, and now they're ethereal. So Lizardman turn 3 shooting, put 3 wounds on his H-bomb. Only 1 wound on this guy over here, unfortunately. Close combat, strip those slaves down, starting to cut into ranks, but they still stuck, jerks. Over here, I only killed 9 of them, they killed 3 of me, and Predatory Fighter is the VIP in this one. He got a lot of extra attacks, but it didn't really do me any good. Skaven movement, pretty much just a charge over here into those skinks. And I think, oh, and the Doom Wheel back there tried to get closer to my Mage Priest. Magic turn 3. This guy tried to cast Scorch, didn't work. He fired off Dread 13th on this unit, took out what, 13? 13 guys, lucky Skaven number. And he miscast it, so he killed 3 of his own guys, no big deal. It's Skaven magic for you. Skaven shooting, his Doom Wheel took out one of my SARS. SARS is clear the heck over here. Skaven, turn 3, close combat. Those slaves got eaten up completely. He's working on my model over there, so it's over there. But it's supposed to be right here. The rest is pretty straightforward. 1 combat there, lost combat here with the skinks. He overran and took him out. Okay, so a giant cowboy and little cowboy moved over here because Doug won't let me charge. He's a cheater. Railroading.
Just put them wherever you want.
I'm railroading over here with the H-bomb. I reformed over here with those guys, did not charge. And, and I moved my Skink Priest trying to get away from that. Turn 4 Lizardman magic was terrible. Well, it wasn't bad. I got Walk Between Worlds, so I moved that entire unit across the river right there. Tried Convocation, didn't go. Or Fiery Convocation didn't go. Rolled terribly. Okay, so shooting. I spittled the H-bomb, didn't, but he saved them all, the jerk. But I did sneak through a wound from the low pipes. Turn 4, close combat Lizardman. I beat his slaves, and that's it. So, reform. Skaven movement turn 5. He reforms his general's unit, leadership bubble. He flank charges me right there into the river. We decided the river is just a regular river because we forgot to roll for it. And that's it for movement. Oh, and he moved a little closer with the... Did you move the Doom Wheel?
Yep.
Okay. Magic, he tried to cheat. He rolled a 2 and a 1, and then he tried to re-roll because I was doing a battle report. I called him out on it. Look at the camera, Doug. Look at the camera. And then he ate a Warpstone token and tried to do stuff, and nothing happened, and that's the end of Skaven Magic turn 5. Shooting, Skaven, end of turn 4. I said turn 5, I was mistaken. He has to restrain because this is closer than any of my guys, and he does restrain, so no big deal. Okay, top of 4. Skaven,
bottom of 4.
Skaven, close combat, top of 4. They killed all my sources there. He reforms these guys. Slaves overran him easily, and that's where we're at. Turn 5, Lizardman. I moved my Troglodyte behind the H-bomb. Cowboy over here. Reformed these guys, and railroaded this guy from the other side. Okay, so magic. Slan Mage Priest got Walk Between Worlds off on this unit, so they're ethereal, which is nice, but he could not get Fiery Convocation off with 5 dice. Okay, so Lizardman shooting phase, I did another wound to the H-bomb, and that's it, with my skinks. Troglodyte missed. No close combat. Skaven turn 5 movement. Into, H-bomb crunches in those guys, takes out a couple rats or something like that. So these guys charge. This guy charges into that unit to protect the leadership bubble. We had a big discussion about this. I thought it was the best thing for Duck to do, even though he can't attack these guys because he doesn't have any magic weapons in their ethereal right now. Slaves turned around. This guy moved forward like 3, so he's actually, these guys are closer than the guy he's going for. In Magic turn 5, he casts some Fiery Scorch on this unit. I don't know if that's legal or not, but we decided it's okay because the Skaven magic is all weird. So I just used a spell scroll on it. He had three dice, I had 1, so I just spell scroll it. Okay, Skaven shooting turn 5. This unit is still closer than him, but he restrained. So that's close combat. Skaven turn 5. I won by 2. I killed his 2 Warlock Engineers. Okay, this is top of 6. So lots of charges. The Skinks there. Chameleons charge the H-bomb. My Troglodon charged the H-bomb. And my Cowboy charged this unit, which may not have been a stupid move. And I moved my some Mage Priest up. Magic Phase got 12 dice to cast with. Cast 2 spells. Fiery Convocation on those slaves. Didn't quite manage to wreck them all. They still got 3 left. So, and then Walk Between Worlds irreversibly cast on my Troglodon. And I took a Strength 6 hit and didn't ward save it, so I took a shooting. Can't shoot. I'm in close combat. Okay, end of my game. This was I won by 1 because I had a musician in this close combat, but it's not looking good. I actually still didn't kill the H-bomb, so that's also not good. Although he's still ethereal for the rest of the game, so H-bomb can't. Well, he might be able to do initiative attacks against him. I did win this combat, I think, but it doesn't matter. And that's pretty much game for me. It's not looking good. I did kill his BSB, so that'll give me squeak out a few points. Even movement. He charged the rear of my Cowboy, and that's it. Oh, the slaves ran a little bit, but they didn't get off the board, so it doesn't matter. Hey, Magic, he cast Bless of Filth on these guys, but I dispelled it. Cast Withered on these guys, and I could not manage to spell it even with 2 tries, so they're withered. Shooting, again, this unit is closer, he restrains. Nope, end of shooting. So finally killed the H-bomb. He did Rats Emerged and 1 base emerged, so yeah, we don't care about that. He won this combat. I killed his Warlock Engineer, but he still won combat, but I stuck, so I'm fine. I lost this combat. My guys fled.
My guys flee. I think my guys flee.
But he was not able to pursue. So that is the game right there. Good game, Doug.
Good game. Did you get it?
So we'll talk about who won after we tally points, but it's leaning towards Duck, so we'll see. Okay, so we tied. We were about 40 points different from each other. If this was a real battle, I think it would have gone to Duck. But it's just an imaginary battle. It's not a real battle.
This was just for fun.
So, Troglodon, interesting model. I'm not a fan, but it can definitely hold its own, I guess. What do you think, Doug? Troglodon?
I thought Troglodon was alright. I think it did a little work. What does it cost?
200? So it's actually pretty cheap.
That's pretty damn cheap.
I mean, it's a little squishy. It's only toughness 5, strength 5, but
I think as long as you're not just rushing it into any old combat, like you did. I mean, you didn't break it in there. You waited until it had
it only had to do 1 point of damage.
Yeah, it only had 1 or 2 things it had to do, and it did it.
So yeah, and this is a new game store. It's not too bad so far. We'll see.
Yeah, right. Brand new game store.
Hopefully I'll get some more buildings and stuff for terrain, but aside from that, not too bad. Over now.